Magic, and the 6 tumbles, goes to mile 16th. And who's this guy? Ray Lou Gutierrez on the 7, Levon. Never heard of him, actually. Ray, coming from the West Coast. Murphy has that 3-hour lapse coming from Delmar all the way here. But Ray, it's great to see how successful he's become. Great rider, great person. Good to see him here at Finger Lakes, and probably pushed me to use Levon in the top 3. The fact that he was named on the horse. I went for a minor upset in here because, well, it's not a minor upset. They're both getting bet. You figure both Sweet Anniversary and American Saint have been impressive in their races here at Finger Lakes. The wild card's going to be how good Sweet Anniversary is going to be stretching out. American Saint has been unchallenged in his 2 races here. The only negative to American Saint is his first start here, he couldn't have had anything any easier. But last race, that wasn't the case. He was just unchallenged and dominated that field like they weren't even running. Sweet Anniversary, though, did the same thing to his maiden rivals in his first career start, showing his talent. And then he overcame a little bit in the slop to win his 2 lifetime allowance. Well, he didn't break all that well when trying Saratoga competition, and it didn't work out for him. Didn't hit the board. Doesn't have really strong breeding for the route, but enough that you got to think that with her talent, she should be tough, solid in here. I'm going to go with her a minor upset over American Saint. I think you got to use both of them if you're playing pick 4s, doubles, whatever you do. We use them on top and tries, but they both looked great in the races over the track. Again, Sweet Anniversary, the question's going to be the distance. I don't think it should be a problem against this field. There is other speed in here if she wants to show some speed. You got Ruby's Mission stretching out. She figures to show a little bit of speed in this race. And American Saint, I don't know. She's going to have more of an outside type stalking trip in this race. And that's why I give a slight advantage to Sweet Anniversary, being inside of American Saint, who might be hung out a little bit, forced to stalk because of the speed inside of her. It's much easier when you can save some ground right behind horses if you don't mind the dirt kicked in your face. So, I mean, that might be the difference. Although, if Sweet Anniversary can't get the distance, it's American Saint all day. Levon's an interesting one. She's got the numbers to win this race. Her last race wasn't as good, though, facing a tougher allowance condition. And that's the big thing. I mean, she was competitive in those one other thans. The last time was really kind of over her head in that race. And she hung in there pretty well, chasing the pace. So, faces Finger Lakes competition for the first time. Good to see Mary Alice Coffey return to Finger Lakes, as she's used to be here, had success, a lot of success here. Her and her husband Dan, very good breeders, and she's had success in New York. She had that Florida bred that was really good. But I'm going to use Levon for 3rd in race number 1, with the addition of the great Ray Lou Gutierrez. Second race, a maiden race for fillies and mares. I think I talked him up a little too much. Second race, yeah, the big question mark. I mean, there's no question who the best horse is, who's got the best form. The big question is going to be the layoff, obviously, for Red Butterfly. Here's a horse by Munnings. Munnings, obviously, solid horses. She has had some chances, though, seeing that she's still in the maiden condition. Coming off that layoff. She's got good works over the track. Got a bullet 3 furlong work. Making her first start as a 4-year-old. And a lot of her races on the turf. Tricky read, in a sense, but one thing you say is her numbers just crush these horses. It's just a matter of coming off that layoff, getting that freshening. Is she good enough without a start? I mean, that's a long layoff. I don't usually like taking horses. These are the type of horses I like to go against normally, but I think she's just better than these, and it may not matter. Plus, she got a great trainer. The 5 Dharma, going to look for a father-son exacta. Dharma's an interesting one because her running style has been her issue. She doesn't have that strong late run you would expect. I thought the stretch out would have helped her, but it didn't. I mean, she did have a troubled trip, her first start going long, and her other one was in the Oaks. I think she probably is a little better going long because she seems to be really at the mercy of the pace in these sprint races. She's got some talent, though. She's a good-looking horse. She makes that late move. She just doesn't have the punch in the sprints. That's why I think she might be better going long. And she cut back last time, but she did catch a sloppy racetrack. I guess that's one of the things you got to say. I mean, she was wide. She caught it off track. It was a pretty decent maiden field. Yeah, she just got to have a pace to win here. I think the fields get a little easier this time of year. There isn't a ton of speed in the race, and that was my only knock on Dharma with that late run. Another interesting one is Bury the Lead. Man, they thought enough of this horse. They claimed her for $5,000 and put her in the Arctic Queen Stakes. Man, you try. There's of course that horse today for John Buckley in the last race. Or sorry, I think it's Wednesday that the horse runs. The horse was claimed for ran for 5, broke the maiden for 5, and then stepped up and ran a stake. But this one was still a maiden. Didn't even win for 5. Obviously, didn't do anything in that stakes race. Sometimes worth a shot, but now back in a maiden. This guy's sharp. This trainer is very sharp. He's had a couple winners off of the claim and stepping him way up from 5 to allowance. So my thing is, she was against maiden, tougher maidens. She was claimed for 5. If they thought enough of her to put her in the Arctic Queen, back in the maiden special weight, don't you think she'll run well here? I think she's got some really good breeding, and she's got every reason to run better. I'm going to go to 3-5-4 in race number 2. She's kind of up against it when she did run in that 5,000 maiden too. The pace flow just didn't go her way. Third race, a 5,000 claimer, going a distance of 6 furlongs. This is the one I took a shot. Remember, we had a price horse win the first leg on Wednesday to make a pick 6 carryover. Pretty good carryover going into this one. I'm taking a shot on the inside speed of this race. Cape Cod Gem has had a history of running well fresh. I know this isn't a long layoff. It's just a couple months, but I like what they've done with her. She ran a clunker. They put her on the shelf for a little while, gave her a little freshening, and put a couple works into her. And I think that might make all the difference for Cape Cod Gem, coming in here fresh and sharp. She's inside of Son of Darkness, who figures to be the presser. But you look at it, you go back to 2022. She ran second off the layoff. 2023, she won off the layoff. 2024, she ran well off of the layoff. I know this is only a couple months, but maybe the freshening could have something to do with her running well here. Yes, there's other speed. You got Son of Darkness and Drossel Diem outside of her, but maybe we've seen it before. She could just speed pop this field from the rail. Wahil's the obvious player. She's dropping back to 5,000. She was claimed for that price the day that she dominated an easier field. She's supposed to win that race, though. I mean, Son of Darkness was in that race, but the only negative on that win was Wahil loves an off track. And again, it was an easy pick. I mean, it was a free square if you're playing pick 5s or whatever that day. I remember even I picked the horse. Last race, Almondro got loose on the lead because the other speed didn't get out of the gate. And she was up against it in that sense that Almondro wasn't coming back. She had everything easy on the front. So, logical horse, the obvious horse, and here's Wahil. She'll probably be 3 to 5 in the race. But she's still got to chase down Cape Cod Gem, and it depends on how fast they go early and what kind of trip she gets, which will probably be good. Will she win the race? The other closer in here, they'll try to chase down Cape Cod Gem, is the 8 Invaluable Will. She comes out of a good race, and for 5,000 anyway. The race before, she ran second to Winning Drive, who was pretty good in the condition, ran a decent time for the day, for the level. Now, you know the Invaluable Will's faced tougher before. I think now, at this point in her career, she is kind of at the mercy of the trip and the pace flow. It does look like she'll get a pace to run at with Cape Cod Gem, Son of Darkness, and Drossel Diem maybe battling it. It is 6 furlongs. a little further than the 5.5 she ran yesterday. I think you got to use at least Cape Cod Gem and Waheel, maybe all three of them, the 1, 6, and 8 if you're playing pick sixes and pick fours. Of course, it makes for a bigger ticket. But again, I took a shot in there at the best value of the three. I'd use all three of them, but the best value to the three is if Cape Cod Gem could steal it at 6-1. She'll get pressed though. The fourth race, scratch the 1A, gonna be dancing. Scratch the 5, not away. That was probably gonna be the favorite in the race. Tough horse. Now, there is some speed in here. Busted Pietre right now is sharp though. Busted Pietre was supposed to win last time, but I think overcame a little bit in a sense that Getty Dancing ran a big race, and this one in 105 and change was able to withstand the pressure and get that victory. I know same distances today. I know he likes an off track, but I thought this horse battled all the way to the wire and showed some grit to win that race. The race before, he didn't get off very well, and his stablemate, Brock Boninoff, was absolutely lone speed. He's good, and that's the only loss he's had in the last 3 starts. Got 2 wins in a second, and he obviously had an excuse with the second. I think he wins again here. I'm going to use him on top. He's 4-1 morning line. Why not? Double shot is the closer. There is some speed in here if Busted Pietre decides to be aggressive. Doesn't have to be. But you still got Holy Cowboy and Baybank who've got tactical speed. It is only 5.5 though, and that's the negative for double shot. Can this horse make up that kind of ground at 5.5? It all depends on how strong the pace is. He's never won at 5.5, but this is 5,000. He did close at 5,000 going 6 furlongs when they went pretty quick, 112. That was a big race because it was a pretty good race in a sense for 5,000s. Some of these $5,000 conditions, it's hit or miss how good they are. Sometimes you get these races where they're solid contenders and some drop downs, but I don't like the distance for double shot. That's the main reason I didn't take him on top. Maybe. He's very at the mercy of the pace in here. Baybank's a logical horse as well. He's kind of an off-track lover, kind of like Busted Pietre. I think the off-track helped him win on July 17th. Took a lot of early play last time. Don't like the fact that he didn't run very well. But he was somewhat aggressive. I don't think he has to be that aggressive in here. Probably because he broke from the rail. He's a little further outside today, which puts him in the mix. I think the drop to 5, he's never seen this level. Got to be used. Again, this is another race like the third. Even though it's a short field, I mean, you could probably use 2 or 3 of them at least. I would probably use all 3, and even Mass Appeal is kind of worth a look in there too. Competitive 4th race to start off your pick 5. Okay, 5th race, an optional claiming allowance race. Let's see, Forward Motion in for the tag. New York Anthem and Tommy the Torch in for the tag. You know what I think of when I see Tommy the Torch? John Tebbett. John Tebbett, of course, retiring recently. He had a lot of success with Tommy the Torch. All right, the key to this race is, can Runaway Joe keep it going? I mean, this is a horse that is just blowing through conditions and looking good doing it. I mean, first start over the track, came in here from Kentucky and was supposed to win and did. I mean, this horse is just doing some public works in a couple of these races. Last start, did what he had to do. And keep in mind, that was not an easy field. He did get a 23 first quarter. I mean, we'll give him that. I mean, he probably didn't have to work as hard early in that race, but you know the track has been a little bit slow, so he still drew away in 110. And 110 on that racetrack is very, very fast, and one of the fastest races of the year. Unless this horse regresses, he's going to win race number 5. I don't think he's going to regress. But I don't blame anybody for taking a shot. That's how you win money at the horses, is you got to beat those big favorites. Again, but off paper and from the eye test and the times, handicap at 101 tells you Runaway Joke's going to be awfully tough to keep it going. But these horses, keep in mind, these horses here, they don't, they're not machines. They don't win 6, 7 races in a row at Finger Lakes. It just doesn't happen a lot. But I think if he can keep it going, he's supposed to win race number 5. His main threat would probably be New York Anthem, a horse that looked really good when he was in for the waiver claim. I know it was a tag, but he ran protected, and he looked good winning that day. That was the thing. It was not like he's a slop runner, and he dominated that field. Came back. They put him back at the 11 and 9. They risked the claim. I'm surprised they did, especially after how good he looked the last race. I don't think they watch the races as much as they do, because you don't see as many horses getting claimed that should be here at Finger Lakes. They're risking the claim again today, which is kind of the negative, I thought, on New York Anthem, because he's dropping off of a good-looking performance, and it was back in June, and he's getting the freshening. So it's almost like he's got a for sale sign on him for 10,000, which is maybe a negative that he's not going to run as well. I don't know, but I think New York Anthem, off of the recent efforts, you talk about Runaway Joke winning 3 in a row. This horse has looked pretty good winning 3 in a row too, but not as impressive as Runaway Joke. I got him for second. I think it's a good sign that Andre Worry goes here, where he ran on Sig Alert last time. The 4 Convertible Freeze is a tricky read because the damage he's looked good, but it's at route races. So he's winless at the distance, the 6 furlongs, but I think he's just getting better. I mean, sometimes when these horses just simply get good, it doesn't matter the distance. And he's cutting back big time here. Man, you talk about a horse that was much the best last race. This horse absolutely dominated. Is he good enough to beat Runaway Joke? No. Unless Runaway Joke regresses, then yes. So it's almost like he's got to keep that form in the sprint, and then Runaway Joke has got to kind of take a step back. But I still got him in the top 3. Going to throw in, I mean, I could have used any of the 3 inside horses in this race for 4th. Devious Banker I didn't use because Jackie Davis opted to go to Rhymes Like Dimes over Devious Banker, and Devious Banker looks clearly the better shot in this race. So that's not a positive, because Rhymes Like Dimes is more of a router. Sig Alert. Worry gets off to ride New York Anthem, but you don't blame him there. And Doc Advantage does keep his form. Doc Advantage is probably the next logical horse. I just thought Sig Alert might offer a little value. I was shocked Sig Alert went off at odds of 5-1 last time. Horse needed the race over the track. He knew he'd run better, second star over the track, and he did. But, of course, he couldn't have got a better trip. Horse got a dream trip behind the speed, moved at the right time. Great job by Andre Worry to get the victory. Goes a little further, 6 furlongs, and is probably a better distance. I just think he sits back, makes a run while everybody's chasing Runaway Joke, and gets in the number. So I'm going to go with a 5, 7, 4, and 2 in race number 5. All right, 6th race, a maiden race that goes the distance of 1.70 miles. Yeah, this is a tough one. I would say you got to spread in this race if you're playing picks. Maybe use single Runaway Joke. Maybe you just use a couple in there. But this one was tough. I mean, you got horses stretching out for the first time. Tricky as far as the pace scenario goes for race number 6 as well. I did lean towards a logical horse that breaks from the inside, Woe Hop. I think he's going to be in perfect position to get the trip in here. This one was running on the turf, and actually was taken off the turf those couple of those races, and then came here, ran okay the first start. I mean, that horse, I don't know, was that Troy Smith that just ended up running away with it. But the last race was an improved effort. Maybe it was the slop. I don't think so, because the horse hadn't performed that well in those off tracks before. I like the improvement shown with the race over the track for Woe Hop last time, going a mile. Now goes a little bit further, 1.70. He's one of a few you can make a case for in race number 6. It's going to come down to the trip in this race. Obviously, there's no horse that stands out greatly, but I think Woe Hop might be the one to get a trip. Maybe you'll get 4-1 too. That's not a bad price for Wohop. Skylar's Artemis is one of the speeds, and it could come down to how this race shapes up. Draw a line through his last race of Presque Isle. I mean, he lost all chance at the start when he reared up. Remember watching that race, and just never in it. So the race before wasn't bad at Presque Isle. Ran a good second. I think he's just as good on the dirt as that surface. I know he's bred a little bit for the turf, but he comes off a little bit of a freshening since rearing up that day. This is the only non-New York bred in the field, and that could be key. I mean, you're looking for a spot, and these horses are all New York breds. Generally, Kentucky breds, or a little nothing against New York breds, but generally Kentucky breds coming in here, and these maidens are a little better because, and one of the reasons is sometimes they face those open maidens. And those are tougher horses at Presque Isle in a sense. And again, you can forgive the last effort. I'll use Prophetic for third. Kind of a victim of the break last time. I mean, he's cutting back a little bit in distance and going to the mile 70 today. Comes out of the race by Alfgar. Alfgar finally got the trip and came up the inside. Couldn't have had it better. Prophetic may have gotten the worst of it as far as the trips are concerned. Unfortunately, I don't really like the posts. I mean, he's a late runner. Kevin's pretty good with these type of horses, sitting back and making a run. So maybe he could find a way to save some ground with Prophetic and make a run. He may need to win the race. Again, it might come down to the trip, but this horse certainly plays in this spot. He's 6-1. I did throw in Destined for Glory. Horse is not bred for the distance at all, but I like his last race. I know he finished 5th off of the board, but he had a slow start. He didn't have a great trip. It's not like he wasn't that badly beaten in a pretty decent field. So it is his 3rd start, first start going long, and it's all a question of how this horse handles the extra distance. I mean, the Destins, some of them have gone long, and some of them, speaking of Troy Smith, his was one of them, have done okay. But as far as the brisk numbers and the racing form, it might be a little tough for him to get the distance. We'll find out. He certainly plays. He's 12-1 morning line. So there are some possibility for some prices in race number 6. I think that might be where you do catch a price. It's going to be the horse that gets the trip. All right, 7th race, an allowance race. Never won 2 condition, going a mile and 70. Got to give Hey Toby another chance. I mean, this horse ran big last time and was the winner, except for he started drifting out right before the wire, opening it up for Solo Tonight to come right up the middle. Well, let's see if he could keep straight today. I mean, that was in the slop. It was his first race over the track. Gets a little break from the race and a nice bullet work since then. Draws the rail. Maybe they'll keep him inside so he doesn't drift out like that late to cost himself the race. I thought off of that effort, he should be awfully tough in here. If he stays straight, he should have won last time, except for he wanted to see if there were any hot dog specials up there, because, you know, that's coming up next week. Second race, second horse, the 2 Marty's Magic, looked good winning last time, was supposed to win, but beat a field that Joe West, the horse that was second, came back out of that one to win, was going mostly routes. So you got to kind of wonder if he won despite it being a sprint because he was that good and now stretches out to a better distance that he'll run even better going long. I mean, you're getting 6-1 on this horse. I don't know how this horse could possibly be 6-1, but every time I say that, well, they are. But this horse should run well in here. The 4 lifetime guarantee has been no worse than 4th in any of his starts. Those are mostly maidens. He finally broke through with a victory. See how Wohop does in the race before. Maybe we'll get a little bit of gauge from that. Maybe not really, because the horse is still running a maiden race. But it does make his maiden win look better if Wohop runs well in the race before. Hard not to use this horse in the top 3 as consistent as he is. And the numbers still match up with these 2 lifetime allowance horses. Alfgar, I think he found his niche. I was wondering if they would ever send the horse long. He just kept not getting the trip in those short races. So maybe it was the route, but also Louis Perez couldn't have gave the horse a better trip either. I mean, he came right up the inside and got the victory. He had the best of it, got a good number. I think this horse might have found his niche show going long. It's just a matter of the post now. I don't think he's going to get the same kind of trip against a tougher field. I'm going to throw him in there because, let's face it, this horse has shown a little talent. Remember, he ran second in the Ontario County Stakes. Just couldn't beat the maiden special weights of those sprints. Figure that it's a tough one to figure. I'm going to go the 1, 2, 4, and 9 in the 7th. I do like the 2 inside horses. 8th race, scratch the better part of the entry, Venge. That changes the race here because Venge looked awfully tough in this last race. Also scratch the 4, Rum Pressure, who certainly played. And scratch the 5, Allied Attack. Changes the race a little bit because Venge looked like the winner. There were obviously some question marks with Venge coming off a layoff. Stars and Stones comes out of a race won by Dorothy's Happiness. Dorothy's Happiness is awfully good. I mean, I think the break and the pace scenario hurt him last time. He definitely hurt him. He would have won the next race. But he did run second to Dorothy's Happiness. What can you say? If he can repeat that effort, he should win this last race. It's that simple. Now, it was a slow pace, though. So is he going to get the same kind of pace? Probably not, because there is some speed outside of him. But off of the effort, I guess you got to kind of ask yourself, what would Dorothy's Happiness do to this field? With a good break, that is. Yeah, Dorothy's Happiness would win. So the race is good. The tricky read on the wild card in here is the 10, Solo's Fury. So it's got to be a Star Wars reference, right? I mean, I know the sire's Solomini, so maybe not, but Solomini. But Solo's Fury comes out of the off the turf race last time. They thought enough of him after the maiden victory to try him in those 2-year-old stakes races. He was way overmatched. But they must have liked what they saw in that first career victory just to think about putting in those stake races because he didn't belong. Came off the layoff as a 3-year-old, added blinkers, and didn't work out, so they took the blinkers off again, and he ran better last time in the mud. I don't know. I think they're just looking for a spot for this horse, and it's tricky because he's been in the wrong spots in these stakes races with the blinkers. That you don't know how good this horse is, so that's why he's a wild card, and he's a tricky read in here. His last race isn't bad. I mean, that's a tough field that he comes out of with Tommy Two Socks. Cost $130,000 as a 2-year-old, so they did think highly of Solo's Fury, and you got to always think that a horse that wins first out has got some talent, especially when they win first out in New York. I'm going to use him second because I don't know what to expect from that one. Now, the horse that I do know what to expect from is Pop Coyer because he always hits the board. Oh, always. I don't want to. You look at the distance. Perfect. 8 for 8 in the top 3. Just the one win, though. Finger Lakes overall, 12 for 12. Has never missed the board here at Finger Lakes. So when I say he always hits the board at Finger Lakes, he always hits the board at Finger Lakes. That's a fact. Speaking facts. Problem is, he's still in the 2 lifetime condition. At least the victory that he had was a 5.5. So if he gets the right kind of trip, he can win. I'll throw in profitability for 4th, the M. Anthony Farrar, the other M. Anthony Farrar trainee. He did have a troubled trip last time. He's the closer, so if Stars and Stones gets mixed up in the pace, and this pace does take its toll, and you can close today, profitability is the closer. So you kind of got, if these were an entry, it'd be the best kind of entry, speed and the closer. But I think the other M. Anthony Farrar horse profitability certainly plays to make it into the numbers. So I'm going to go with the 210, 9, and 6 in race number 8. You got to use at least 2 or 3 of them in there. Although, unless you like Stars and Stones off of the last effort, if you're playing pick 6s. Might be a good wager today. There is some money in that pick 6 pool. I believe, what was it, $89, almost $9,000 in the pick 6 carryover pool. We are continuing to run Monday through Wednesday. Wednesday, we got a good 9 race card. Then Monday, next week, we're drawing today for those 3 stakes races. Should be a really good card for next week. Take the day off work. Why not? Your boss will understand. You also got $2 hot dogs and $1.50 sodas at the Wire. Can't beat it. Make sure you're next week. You can come here tomorrow as well. We got a 1 o'clock first post and 8 races, and I will see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple more changes to announce in our finale, race number 8. Please note the number 3, Please Be Nice, is first time gelding. Number 3, Please Be Nice, is a first time gelding in race number 8. And now a scratch of the number 6, Profitability. You can scratch the number 6, Profitability. Updating the changes in race 8. Scratch the 1, Venji, the 4, Rum Pressure, the 5, Allied Attack, and the 6, Profitability. And the number 3, Please Be Nice, is a first time gelding. Those are the changes for race number 8. The field for the Monday opener is making its way out onto the track. The 1 is Book of Wisdom. Jose Baez rides. Scratch the 2, Cozy Magic. The 3 is Sweet Anniversary with Cabracoa. The 4 is My Royal Vow. Kevin Navarro rides. The 5 is Ruby's Mission with Michael Davila Jr. Scratch the 6, Tumbles. The 7 is Levon. Note the rider change to Relu Gutierrez. And the 8 is American Saint with Luis Rivera Jr. Welcome to Monday at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. I'm your track announcer, the Big A, Anthony Stabile. First of 25 races we have for you this week. Couple 8 race cars today and tomorrow. 9 race extravaganza on Wednesday. Just a week away from steaks and hot dogs. Ladyfinger Aspirant for the 2-year-olds. Leon Reed Memorial for the older horses. That's next Monday, and those $2 Wagles are back. $1.50 fountain sodas down at the wire. Big Monday coming up a week from today. We're drawing that card as we speak. First things first, though. American Saint, I landed on the second choice here. This was shipped up from Penn National for Greg Sacco, who is stabled down at Monmouth Park. They wrapped up their meeting yesterday. They'll move over to the Meadowlands for some all-turf now. Matt Dinneman, kind enough to fill in here a couple of weeks when I was on the bench. Thanks to Matt, who did a fantastic job. This horse has won her 2 races at Finger Lakes by a quarter length shy of 20 lengths combined. Maiden win, 2 lifetime win. We talk about how hard it is to go from maidens to winners, and she just cut through this competition like a hot knife through butter. And I would just imagine she takes the next step. 3-year-old daughter of American Pharaoh, 2015 Triple Crown winner, cost $300,000 as a yearling. So lots to like. She's had 2 wins, 1 on the lean, 1 from off the pace. She can go, she can rate. Even money. Looks like she's going to be awfully tough. I think I want a little bit of a new shooter for second. My Royal Vow, number 4, ships in for Paul Barrow from Gulfstream Park. This horse has raced pretty much exclusively on turf and poly for almost a year. One try on a conventional dirt track was back in October of last year in her debut. It was off the turf. It was a muddy track. She was favored, and she did not fire her best shot. It was going a flat mile at the Big A out of the chute. But she's had no problem with distance. We'll see what happens if she gets to a conventional fast dirt track. I mean, she has plenty of pedigree to like it. She did debut late in her 4-year-old season, which is an issue. October 15th of a 4-year-old season, that's a little late, but she's bringing in plenty of foundation, having all the 2-turn races under her belt on the synthetic and on the turf. And she's a price. She's 9-1, so we'll try her for second. And then the 3 Sweet Anniversary looked real good breaking her maiden up here. She's probably the most impressive maiden winner I've seen up here, juvenile or older. Then she struggled a bit going to winners for the first time. It was also on a sloppy track. It was just 26 days later. She went to Saratoga for her last, no match for the A other than there. Comes back here for the 3 Life, stretches out, daughter of Solomini out of a Dixie Brass mare, an older mare. We'll see how she handles the distance here for our leading rider and trainer. She's your second choice. I thought she'd be a 2-1. I thought she was a little vulnerable. She's actually regressed speed figure-wise if you use the Bayer scale on all 3 of her starts. We'll see where she goes back on fast ground here at Finger Lakes and trying 2 turns for the first time. 8-4-3 in the opener. Best of luck here. Pick 6 carryover comes your way in race 3. $43 shy of $9,000. If you need past performances, head to fingerlakesgaming.com. They're there courtesy of Equibase each and every racing day of the 2024 season. Post times in a little over a minute. Early pick 4 and early double start here. Best of luck if you're playing both. Post. The field for race 1 has made its way to the starting gate, and it's post time for the Monday opener. Book of Wisdom, the first to load in. Followed by Sweet Anniversary, trainer Michael Anthony Ferraro, rider Cabracoa teaming up with the number 3. Both have comfortable leads in the trainer and jockey standings respectively as My Royal Vow goes in. She was almost in. Now she's in and locked away. Ruby's mission's next. Jockey Michael Davila Jr. is off Ruby's mission. He'll climb aboard once she is inside the starting gate. Here goes Mikey. Don't forget, free PPs, courtesy of Equibase over at fingerlakesgaming.com each and every day of the 2024 racing season as the number 1 Book of Wisdom acts up. Jockey Jose Baez off briefly as Levon goes in. Baez settles down. Last to load is American Saint. There in the gate. And Koa have a length lead. Levon outside second through an opening quarter of 24 and 3/5 seconds. Levon has been her shadow almost the entire way. Anniversary, My Royal Vow coming up the inside, off the turn and into the stretch. Sweet Anniversary trying to see it through. My Royal Vow with dead aim. Levon's tired in third. 8th pole, Sweet Anniversary draws away. A New York bred, Sweet Anniversary is owned by Michael R. DiTomaso, trained by Michael Anthony Ferraro. 50-cent try, 347-4487, and the 10-cent super, 3471, $22.87. Race 2 comes up next. It's the start of the first pick 3 of the day. No changes in race 2. Post time for the second is in just over 20 minutes.
wasn't able to get the right kind of trip to give any competition to a sweet anniversary. It may not have mattered as on this field, but she's been off since December, so a long time away from the races. For races, can't kind of ignore the breeding either by that rival. So both out of the cloud, and Mia Nipotina kind of run that she's just at the mercy of the pace because she doesn't have a. And she was against the racetrack last time. That was an inside speed day that she ran fourth that day. I mean, you look at the horses that won all day. Outside the maiden special weights, Carl Callahan's been very good off the claim, so I could see some big improvement from Bury the Lead. Second race, Exacta Tri Super Daily Double and Pick 3 starts. You got about 6 minutes to post.
With Heeman Harkey. The 2 is out of the cloud with Jerez. From, in fact, no one. They've tried a bunch of different things with our poly. We can use as a barometer, and it's not great. It's not a great barometer. Can she win? Absolutely. But we haven't seen her since December. They're asking to take a short price, and I do not think this is her preferred surface. I think she'd rather run on the grass. She can absolutely win. And, again, Miss Mischief, who's had a pretty good run the first four. That's kind of insane to me. But she is, and I know she ran for a tag and this, but she's only run twice on conventional dirt. She got beat a half length, and she ran in the stakes race last time. I think she's worth another shot. 2, 3, 4. Here, let's try and beat the favorites. The field for race 2 has made its way to the along the inside. There's out of the cloud, and now Red Butterfly asserts herself and goes to the lead. It's red of her as she has a measured length on the outside of these rockets. It's the start of today's $1 pick 6, and today's pick 6 features a carryover of $8,957. Here are the changes for the remaining races. There are no changes in race 3. If you'll turn to race 4, scratch the 1A Gonna Be Dancing, and the 5 Not Away. In race 4, scratch the 1A and 5. There are no changes in races 5, 6, or 7. If you turn to the race 8, these changes. Scratch the 1 Venji, the 4 Rum Pressure, the 5 Allied Attack, and the 6 Profitability. Scratch the 1, 4, 5, and 6 from race 8, and please note the number 3, Please Be Nice, is a first-time gelding. First-time gelding for the 3. In race 8, scratch the 1, 4, 5, and 6. Post time for race 3. The start of today's pick 6, with a carryover of nearly $9,000, comes your way in just over 19 minutes.
well today if you hit it. I mean, you gotta hit it. $1 minimum for the pick six. There's a couple races a chance to get some value. He runs well fresh. Last 2 years in a row, he's ran a good third against the 11 and 9s off of the claim for O'Callahan, and the speed didn't back up. Almandro got an easy lead in there when the other speed didn't break, and Wahil was only able to chase as they didn't really change positions after that. So back at 5,000, very obvious and logical horse in here. He's at odds of even money. Tough not to use in the top three. But Valuable Will's the other one. He's the biggest price now of the three. At least I was looking at the morning line. The one was the biggest price, but Valuable Will looks like the other logical, but he's more at the mercy of the pace. If they do press Cape Cod Gem and you get that early pace, Valuable Will could be the one to come running late. He comes out of a pretty
4-6, 51.50. 50-cent try, 4-6-5. A quarter shy of $140. And the 10-cent super, 4-6-5-2. $106.40. Race 4 comes up next. It's the start of today's 50-cent pick 5. Here in race 4, scratch the 1A, gonna be dancing, and the 5 not away. Race 4, scratch the 1A and 5. Post time for race 4 is in just over 21 minutes. Folks, don't forget it to come out Monday, a week from today, September 23rd, for steaks and hot dogs. 3 stakes races that day, the Lady Finger and the Aspirant for the 2-year-old New York Breds, and the Leon Reed Memorial for the older horses. But that's not all. The $2 Zweigels are back. That's
Getting ready for race number 4, and that race completely fell apart. The pick 6. Little value for anything passable. Okay, 4th race starts the pick 5. Non-winners the 2 cents a day or never won 4 races. Scratch 1A, going to be dancing, and scratch the 5. Not away. Baybank getting a lot of the play here. Bustin Pietre also getting some action. They seem like the lone speed. He's not going to challenge that one anyway. So, and he still ran well to be second. Might have beaten that horse if he broke better and might have chased him down. Well, he came back with a Baybank, who looks to be the other possible speed. Really ran a bad race last time at the 11-9 level off of a victory against the 11. The big question for Double Shot is the distance. Clearly at the mercy of the pace as it is, but at 5.5,
The 2 is Mass Appeal with Anthony Rodriguez. The 3 is Law Double Shot with Michael Davila Jr. All right, another beaten race here. 2 races since May 6th. I guess by bank. The logic is to just not get involved and just lap onto them. I think that gives Boston P for them, and they're both 3-2 right now. There's not much else to say. If somebody picks them up, I think it'll be Double Shot in that aforementioned pick 5. Post times in a minute. 1 minute. Holy Cowboy. And currently we have 3 2-1 shots. They're in the gate. And they're off. There goes Bustin Pietre for the moved up to 3rd along the rail. Then it's a couple of lengths back to the duo of Double Shot, who's at a last. He just passed Lars. Bustin Pietre 23 and almost 3 for the opening quarter. Bustin Pietre, Flores has a hold on him. He's in a 2.5 length winner. It got tight for second. Looked like Double Shot. Got up over Baybank. Holy Cowboy rounds out the super. And 106 and 1. Inquiry into race number 4. Stewards are taking a look at the run up the backstretch. Please hold all tickets. Before Bustin Pietre was first. Finished 4th in the winner's circles. The number 4, the unofficial winner, Bustin Pietri. He's a 5-year-old gelding, a son of Bustin Stones. Out of no action taken. Still unofficial 4761. Official, $2 double, 4-4, 45.20. $2 at the 4-7, 12.60. 50-cent try, 476, $6.65. 10-cent super, 4-7-6-1, $8.55. 50-cent pick 3, 3-4-4, 48.12. And the 50-cent pick 4, $80.87. Early pick 4 is wrapped. Late pick 4 time here in race 5. There are no changes in races 5, 6, or 7. Turn to race 8. Scratch the 1, Venji. The 4, Run Pressure. The 5, Allied Attack. And the 6, Profitability. Scratch the 1, 4, 5, and 6 from race 8. And please note the number 3, Please Be Nice, is a first-time gelding. Those changes in race 8. Post time for race 5. The start of the late pick 4 is in just over 21 minutes.
to be eligible for the condition. You got who aren't eligible for the condition. You got Forward Motion, New York Anthem, and Tommy the Torch, all in for the 10,000 state. That rarely happens, but you could make that case. Runaway Joke has been unchallenged. He's got good speed. It all depends on how much they push him early and if he doesn't regress. If he repeats his last effort, he wins. It's that simple. He's at odds of 6-5. Way to say, wow, this horse is what a big effort stepping up. But it's still, the horse is sharp. He's looking for 4 in a row as well. The question is going to be the distance. He's never won going 6 furlongs. He's hit the board a couple times, but as good as the 2 posts. Sig Alert, maybe more of an underneath horse in this spot. He's at odds of 12-1.
Anchor with Heeman Harkey. The 2 is Sig Alert with J.M. Rohina. The 3 is Doc Advantage. Jeremiah Flores looks to go back-to-back on the Monday card. The 4 is Convertible Freeze. Cabracoa looks for his 3rd win on the day. 8 is Tommy the Torch with Anthony Rodriguez. And the 9 is Rhymes Like Dimes with Jackie Davis. The restricted New York bred A other than now, and we'll see if Ralphie D and Gumpster and Emmanuel De Diego, who's been aboard for his last 2, can keep the streak alive. He's even money right now, and he probably should be. He's been very, very good since making his way to Farmington via his old Kentucky home. And we'll see if this son of Practical Joke can keep on the win train. Even money. Give me the 5. Runaway Joke. 7. New York Anthem. We haven't seen him since June. He made his first 3 starts here this year winning ones. He won a couple of $11,000 claiming races, one via the waiver, and then he took this race. Now he's in for the 10. We'll see if he can apply some pressure early to Runaway Joke, who just appears to be faster than him early on. Andre Warrior's going to have to figure out if he wants to go after Runaway Joke early or maybe bide his time and take one run at him from just off the pace. And then finally, Forward Motion. He's a forward type, but I don't think he's as fast as the top 2, and maybe he trips out here. Leading trainer Michael Anthony Ferraro at a giant price here, 16-1. Maybe this horse is laying 3rd and playing possum, waiting in the garden spot. He could work out the trip here should New York Anthem go after Runaway Joke. 5-7-6 for me. I would lean pretty heavily on Runaway Joke. Singled him in the pick 4. Best of luck if you're playing. You got a little less than 2 minutes to post. Post times in a minute. 1 minute. Get those late pick 4 tickets in. He's behind the gate, and it's post time. Devious Banker at a big price goes in first. Sig Alert, a fellow long shots in next. 4 to 5 favorite, Runaway Joke, looking for 4 consecutive wins here in Farmington, goes up next. Here's Forward Motion at a big price. New York Anthem looks to stay perfect in 4. Rivals, Runaway Joke moves up, and on the far outside, Tommy the Torch is there as well. They're 4 across the track here early. Behind them is a line of 5. The Devious Banker, Sig Alert, Doc Advantage, Convertible Freeze, and Rhymes Like Doc, and Forward Motion. They make their way off the far turn past the quarter pole through a half and 47 flat, and Runaway Joke gets separation off the turn and into the stretch. Runaway Joke has a 2.5, now a 3-length lead. Devious Banker's a huge number. He's second. On the far outside, Rhymes Like Dimes trying to move into second. Tommy the Torch steady there. They're coming past the 16th pole. Runaway Joke, he means business from here to Piper and Charlie. He won it by a half dozen. It got dead tight for second between Doc Advantage and Convertible Freeze. Sharp. Number 5, Runaway Joke was first. It's a photo for second. In race number 5. Practical Joke out of the Violence Mare Quivery. A New York Red. Runaway Joke, $5, $22.12. Race 6 comes up next. It kicks off the final pick 3 of the afternoon. No changes in the 6th. Post time for race 6 is in just over 22 minutes.
All right, another impressive effort by Runaway Joke. So I don't know why the horse isn't 1 to 9. We used to have so many 1 to 9s, but he's that good. You know, he's watching in his last race. He's a stakes caliber horse, and it's just a matter of being able to run without Lasix because he's going to rip right through conditions if he keeps running the way he has. Emmanuel Di Diego for trainer Ralph D'Alessandro. Just another victory on a roll. Sixth race goes 1.70 miles, probably the most open race of the day. Very competitive here. It's going to come down to whoever gets the trip. So a good chance to catch a price in this race. So you're looking for a trip, maybe go to the inside horse, Wohop, who actually ran very well, an improved effort in the slop last time, getting beat a length against the maiden special weights, going a little bit shorter, a mile. Get a similar trip in here, and that's what it could come down to. And it's a similar field, so if he's only losing a length there, from the rail position, if he gets the right kind of trip, maybe we'll give him a slight edge because it's hard to really fall in love with anybody in this race. The 8, Skylar's Artemis. Well, you could draw a line through his last race because he reared up at the start at Presque Isle. And then the race before was very good on the artificial surface at Presque Isle. He's got some route experience. He went long before in New York. So this will be going long here at Finger Lakes. First time going long at Finger Lakes after a series of sprints. But he's shown the ability to go long, and he's certainly bred to go long. He is the horse that's the only non-New York bred in this entire field, so that could also give him a little bit of an advantage. The outside horse is the 9, Prophetic. Overcame a bad break last time when stretching out, and only got beat a few lengths. I mean, Alfgar got the better of the trips, and he wasn't far behind Jake's Orchard, who had a better of the trip. So he's another one, although he's outside today, if he could work out a trip, he could be a strong contender in here as well. You got the 3, Destined for Glory is going to be my 4th choice. Big question at the distance. He's got 2:59 Tomlinson for the distance, but he's coming off a really good effort last time, overcoming trouble, and he's making his 3rd star, and he's got a nice work since his last race. He's a big price at odds of 11 to 1. You'd like him in a sprint, though. There is one first-time starter in here, and that's the 7, Paint the Line. Would like this one a lot better if he was a sprint. This is a second foal out of the damn Figure Painter. Figure Painter, she's one of the top mares here back in the day for the Murph. The first foal, if you remember, was Tacony Road. Tacony Road won first time out and has run pretty well against allowance competition. So see how the second foal does. You'd like the horse a lot better, though, if it were a sprint. 8 minutes to post for the 6, Exacta Tri Super Daily Double, and pick 3 starts in here. What?
Hias Flores looks for a riding double. The 3 is Destined for Glory with Luis Rivera Jr. Here's the 7, Paint the Line with Dalton Brown. Of the 2-turn races here at Finger Lakes. I like calling them better. I like handicapping them better. That's more important to you folks. I like handicapping them better. He was in the next race. Going to be one of the favorites in the next race. That was in the slop. Considerable step up on the wet track. And this horse had run well on wet tracks in the past. Now the 3-year-old gelded son of Loudman is going to get back to dry ground. There's a wide open tote board, as you can see. The ROI is not great, but a guy like Chris Englehart, his ROI is never great. But the percentage is good. These horses do well going the 2 sprints to the route. It's one of my favorite handicapping ankles. He also goes from the 2 tag tries to the special weight. I think that's a half at Saratoga out of the Wilson chute. He's been 1 turn at Aqueduct. The distance races are not very good, but he's getting that relief now. And the 2 races he has here at Finger Lakes resulted in a knee. I was a big fan of the shrimp chow fun mixed with the black bean sauce. And now I'm hungry. Last pick 3 of the day starts here. Best of luck in the 6th. The field for race 6, Destined for Glory, goes in. Road. Arthur Gray. Skylar's Artemis. Are in the gate. And they're off. From between horses, there goes Jake's Orchard. To the inside is God Laughs. Splitting those 2, Puff's Magic Dragon, who's actually going to settle in 3rd. Skylar's Artemis the Gray is 4th on the outside. Woe Hop's 5th, just 4.5 lengths from the lead. To his outside is Paint the Line. To his inside is Destined for Glory. The 2 at the back are Prophetic and 8 lengths from the lead. Along the inside is Paint the Line. He's about to be passed by Prophetic, and at the back is Dr. Darby, 48-1. They slowed it down a bit. God Laughs in Jake's Orchard. Room at the rail for Destined for Glory. Louis Rivera trying to shoot him on through. Puff's Magic Dragon and Manuel de Diego with a 5-wide move. Woe Hops under a drive. From the back, Skylar's Artemis and Prophetic trying to chime in. The field makes their way to the quarter pole. Destined for Glory got through that hole along the inside. He made the lead. Jake's Orchard gives chase in second. Far outside, Puff's Magic Dragon at the rail. Prophetic. Kevin Navarro saved all the ground off the turn into the stretch. Destined for Glory. He's a decent price here. Puff's Magic Dragon trying to gun him down. Jake's Orchard between. Jake's Orchard struck the lead right before the 16th ball. Puff's Magic Dragon trying to get him. Jake's Orchard. Puff's Magic Dragon from Honolulu. Puff's Magic Dragon got him. Puff's Magic Dragon just got his nose down, it looks like, on Jake's Orchard. It got tight. Prophetic was there in the scrum as well. Final time was 1:46.4. Photo finish, hold all tickets. Number 4, Puff's Magic Dragon was first. 5, Jake's Orchard second. 9, Prophetic third. 3, Destined for Glory finished fourth. 4, 5, 9, 3 here in race 6. Making his way to the winner's circle for the first time is the number 4, Puff's Magic Dragon. The 3-year-old gelding's a son of Mendelssohn. Out of the Congrats mare, Magnificent Margot. A New York bred, Puff's Magic Dragon's owned by the Elkstone Group. Trained by Chris Englehart. A riding consecutive double for Emmanuel De Diego. $2 double 5-4 35-20. $2 exact to 4-5 132.50. 50-cent try 4-5-9 97.62. And the 10-cent super 4-5-9-3 $150.95. Race 7 comes up next. It starts the late double. No changes in the 7th. These scratches and changes in race 8. Scratch to 1 Venji. The 4 Room Pressure. The 5 Allied Attack. And the 6 Profitability. Scratch to 1, 4, 5, and 6 out of race 8. Please note the 3, Please Be Nice, is a first-time gelding. Post time for race 7 is in just over 25 minutes.
line. It was the morning line favorite. Went off at odds of 11-1. Emmanuel Di Diego gets a victory for trainer Chris Engelhart. Really tough to call. And barely won by a no, but Solosai was the one who snuck through and got the victory on the sloppy track. It was the first race over the track. It's a break since then and a bullet work. The bullet work was at Saratoga, so early route. So he may have won despite the sprint last time, and this could be a better distance for Marty's Magic. He's the 4 lifetime guarantee, also off of the maiden victory. This one has been no worse than second in 4 of his 5 stars. The other race he got 4th, but he did win finally in the slop. He's always right there, no matter what the competition. So it seems like this is a good spot for him to face winners for the first time, and he's a big top 3 threat. The 9 Alfgar may have gotten a perfect trip in the last one. Actually did get a perfect trip, but also may have found a niche of going long because he finally broke through with a victory after keep hitting the board in sprint. So they'll try it long again, first time against winners. He'll try to make it 2 in a row. That's some of the contenders for the 7th Exacta Tri Super and Daily Double offered in this race.
The field for race 7 is coming out onto the track. Emmanuel De Diego looks for 3 in a row. The 4 is Lifetime Guarantee. Cabracoa looks for 3 on the day. The 5 is Hair on Fire. Jeremiah Flores looks for a riding double. The 6 is Hinani with Anthony Rodriguez. With Michael Davila Jr. All right. Ferraro and Barry Schwartz, team money. Now he stretches back out to a distance in and around a distance that he's run some really good figs and make him really tough in here. He's 12-1. I can't believe he's this big of a price in here. I'm going to see if Marty's Magic can make it 2 in a row here off the layoff and at Finger Lakes. The 1 Hey Toby, he's your favorite and he probably should be. He just missed a neck this level at this distance, but that was a sloppy track. He broke his maiden on a fast track 2 starts back from maiden 30 at Saratoga. He just missed here to solo tonight last time out. He was drifting late in the game last time. It makes me wonder how far he wants to go. He can obviously win this race. He's 4-5 to do so. So if we're talking about the company he's kept, it's a little dubious at this point. He's 6-1. He's your second choice right now, and I would much rather Marty's Magic at twice the price, if you ask me. 2-1-4 here for the late double. Best of luck in race number 7. Post times in a minute. 1 minute. The field for race 7 has made its way to the starting gate, and it's post time as we kick off the late double here at Finger Lakes. Odds-on favorite, Hey Toby, the first to load. Here's Marty's Magic. Ranger Blue. Hockey season just around the corner. I know I'm in enemy territory here, you Buffalo Sabres fans. Lifetime guarantee loads. Here's Hair on Fire. Loading out of order there was American Halite. Here's recent maiden winner Alfgar. The last to load has been have opened up a couple of lengths. To the inside comes Hair on Fire, who was just passed by Alfgar. Then we come back to the rail. It's Lifetime Guarantee. Outside of Lifetime Guarantees, American Halite, Nolly Can Dance. Trails the field. Snappy opening quarter there, 23-2. Hey Toby's made the top. Ranger Blue attacks in second with Benji Brown at a big price, 3 wide in third, just a length from the lead. Marty's Magic, Luis Perez saving all the ground in a cozy spot fourth. He's just 2.5 from the front. Hinani's widest of all. Towards the inside, Alfgar's found his way to the rail. Lifetime Guarantee moves up. Far outside, Ollie Can Dance has made up some ground. He just went by American Halite. And then we come back to Hair on Fire, 47-3. Hey, Toby keeps on going. Marty's Magic with dead aim now. Alfgar moves sweetly at the rail. Following that moves the gray Lifetime Guarantee as the field makes their way to the quarter pole in 3/4 and 1:13-1. Hey, Toby, Marty's Magic with dead aim if he's good enough. Off the turn and into the stretch. Hey, Toby's been there from the start. Marty's Magic trying to gun him down here in the final furlong or so. Down the centers, Alfgar's at the rail. Through the stretch here, it's still Hey Toby. Marty's Magic won't go away. Marty's Magic trying to get to Hey Toby. Hey Toby, Marty's Magic got him in 50 yards from the line, and Marty's Magic wins 3/4 of a length. Then it was Hey Toby and Lifetime Guarantee. Alfgar rounds out the super in 1:44-1. Number 2, Marty's Magic was first. 1, Hey Toby second. 4, Lifetime Guarantee third. 9, Alfgar was fourth. Returning to the winning circle is Marty's Magic. The 4-year-old geldings are sending out this time out of the Thunder Gulch mare, Echo Storm. Marty's Magic is owned by Barry K. Schwartz, trained by Michael S. Ferraro. That's their second winner together on the day. First riding victory for Luis Perez, and it's official. $2 double 4-2, 178 even. $2 exacta 2-1, 42 even. 50-cent try 214, 25.75. 10-cent super 2149, 30 bucks. Race 8 comes up next. The finale offers win play show exacta try and superfecta wagering. Scratch the 1 Venji, the 4 room pressure, the 5 allied attack, and the 6 profitability. 1, 4, 5, and 6 are out. Please note the 3 please be nice is the first time gelding. Post time for race 8 is in just over 23 minutes.
getting ready to conclude. Better value with Marty's Magic, a $13 winner. Louis Perez for Michael S. Ferraro. Big exacta for those two, $40. $42 in race number 7. Just a reminder in that race, but a big day on Monday. We also got $2 hot dogs for you to enjoy the 9-race card. We just drew that today, so you want to take a look. You want to look online, look at our overnights, and check out that card for next week. Of course, we got 2 more racing days this week, including an 8-race card tomorrow and a 9-race card on Wednesday. Well, we'll look at the last race. Scratch the 1, part of entry, Venge, who probably would have been the favorite in there. Scratch the 4, Room Pressure. Scratch the 5, Allied Attack. We did get a later scratch of the 6, Profitability. So that leaves us with, 7 betting interests in this race. Still competitive last race. Start with the 2, Stars and Stones. Looks like the inside speed of the race. Depends on how much pressure this horse gets, but he did run second to a pretty good one in Dorothy's Happiness last time, going the same distance of 5.5 furlongs. Previous race, didn't run as well. So if you could, that's the only bad race the horse has run, was the race on July 22nd. Other than that, he's been very competitive against some tough competition. See if he can last here. Again, all depends on how much pressure he gets early. The only one race that I didn't really, that race and the race that he was lone speed, but that was 6 furlongs back on June 10th. He got defeated at the wire by Uncle George, but that one did come back to win his next start. The 10 is Solo's Fury. This is the tricky read in here. He is getting some play that's a positive sign. Arrives from Saratoga, but he's got some maybe relatively poor form in some of his races, but he's been over his head in a couple of those starts. After breaking his maiden on a fast track, he caught an off track and then tried a real tough group in a New York Stallion Series race after trying the Sleepy Hollow. Was just overmatched in those races as a 2-year-old. Came back as a 3-year-old, caught a tough group and may have needed that race, but plus maybe didn't take to the blinkers. Took the blinkers off last time, but caught a muddy racetrack. So he hasn't had the best racing luck in some of the spots that he's been in. And now he gets a fast racetrack, an easier field in this allowance race. And we'll see how good Solo's Fury is. And he does get help with the scratches being far outside. So it costs $130,000 as a 2-year-old. Certainly is meant to run. I mean, if you go back to his maiden victory as a 2-year-old, he obviously showed some talent. The 9 Pop Courier, what can you say? Have to use him in tries and supers because the horse is always right there. When I say always, he's never missed the board here at Finger Lakes. A perfect 12 for 12 in the top 3. Problem is, he's still in the 2 lifetime conditions. So they're going on the track for the last race on the card. Exacta try and super offered. Scratch 1, 4, 5, and 6.
The field for the finale is coming out onto the track. Scratch to 1, Venji. The 1A is Vaunted. Emmanuel De Diego looks for 3 on the day. As does K. Barcoa, the pilot of the number 2, Stars and Stones. The 3 is Please Be Nice. J.M. Rohina rides. Scratch to 4, Rum Pressure. The 5, Allied Attack. And the 6, Profitability. The 7's In a Minute. Joel Cruz is in the saddle. The 8 is Free Folk with Heyman Harkey. The 9 is Pop Coyer. Anthony Rodriguez rides. And the 10 is Solo's Fury with Andre Wari. Finale time. The 1, 3, 7, and 8 are not covered in the pick 6. And it just so happens I like Free Folk, the number 8, for you Game of Thrones fans out there. So, Free Folk's another one of these horses going from son Jeff to father Chris Englehart. They tried 2 turns with this horse in his last 2, and he's not a 2-turn horse. He got the job done first time Lasix sprinting. He had finished second, beaten a long way in his only other attempt here sprinting. I just think he wants fast ground. I think he wants to sprint. He should be just off the pace in here. You get Heeman Harkey aboard. He's been on him the last 2 times. I like the cut back here. And he's had like 6 weeks between starts to get those distance races out of his system. I like Free Folk here at a price. He's 6-1. The number 2, Stars and Stones, makes a lot of sense. You know, he broke his maiden in his second start, and I kind of thought like he'd be one of these Ferraro Jr. productions that kind of just cut through these conditions. He had a tough time with the 2 life, but he did run into an older seasoned veteran in Uncle George. They tried him in the Ontario County. He was 3rd. But then in his next 2, he just didn't fire really in the Union Navy race 2 back. And last time he caught a good track, and, he got beat by his stablemate Dorothy's Happiness. But I don't know. I just thought he needed a little bit more. He's had almost a month from his last race. That's a big fig. And any time he's run a fig that's been his top, or close to his top, he has regressed in his next start. He finished second with the 64 in his debut, broke his maiden with a 53. Came back and finished second with a 62, with a 44 in the stakes. Now, even if you throw the stakes out, he only ran a 56 next time. Last time, 73. If the PPs hold form here, he might be in trouble here on a reaction. I think that's part of the reason he's a little dead on the board at 3-1. And Solo's Fury's just taking all of the money in here. Now, Solo's Fury's covered. I don't like Solo's Fury in here. He's covered in the pick 6. I was not a fan shipping in from Naira just for the simple fact that he really hasn't done much running as of late for Jeremiah Englehart, but we'll see what happens with him. Finally, Vaunted. Gumpster and Ralphie D and Emmanuel D. Diego have already teamed up with one. This horse gets a brand new pair of blinkers on today. Ralph's 2 for 12 with the blinkers on with a positive ROI. This horse has been hitting the board here. Since they claimed this horse at Aqueduct back in April, he's hit the board in all 5 starts. He's finished 2nd or 3rd. He was at this level. Then they ran him for the tag a couple of times. If the blinkers could get him to go forward a little bit, he could be right there today. I put him 3rd. 8, 2, 1A. Again, 1, 3, 7, and 8 are not covered in the pick 6. I believe the pick 6 to the 2, 9, and 10 is paying somewhere in the $15,000 vicinity. Best of luck if you are alive in the pick 6. If the 1, 3, 7, or 8 win, those PPs will be up within the next hour and a half or so. Get ready you should be getting ready to handicap tomorrow's card anyway. You should be waiting with bated breath at fingerlakesgaming.com for those PPs to come up for tomorrow. But if that carryover's there, it'll be $15,000. We'll take a crack at it tomorrow. Best of luck in the finale, especially if you're alive in that pick 6. It looks like there's 1 ticket alive. Best of luck if you're alive. Post times in a minute. 1 minute. The field for race 8 has made its way to the starting gate, and it's post time for the finale. Stars and Stones goes in first. Please be nice. I like $1 every time I heard that. Goes forward. Here's Vaunted. Riders off the 10, Solo's Fury. Solo's Fury, a little rambunctious, if you will, behind the starting gate. He'll load without Andre Worry. Gate crew went ahead and opened the front of the stall to encourage Solo's Fury in. He's in. They close the stall. Andre Worry climbs in. Another fantastic job by the gate crew here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack as Big Long Shot in a minute goes forward. The last two are Free Folk and Pop Coyer. They're in the gate. And they're off. All broken, a perfect line. Vaunted in the red hats there. To the inside, Stars and Stones. And between those two is Please Be Nice. The two on the outside are Pop Coyer and Solo's Fury. Dropping back in sixth is in a minute. Free Folk trails. He's 7 lengths from the lead. It's like an accordion going up the backstretch here. Stars and Stones. A half length on Please Be Nice. Who has a half length on Vaunted. Who now has a length on Pop Coyer. Moving up the insides. Long Shot in a minute. Following him is Free Folk as the trailer becomes Solo's Fury. 22-4, Stars and Stones blitz the opening quarter with Please Be Nice and Vaunted in hot pursuit. From the back, Pop Coyer begins to stir as In a Minute loses ground. Along the rails, Free Folk. Solo's Fury needs to make up a bunch of ground here. Off the turn and into the stretch. Stars and Stones, Please Be Nice. Up the inside there is Pop Coyer. Pop Coyer just grabbed the lead from Stars and Stones. Solo Fury down the center. Please Be Nice is there as well. Pop Coyer's almost home. Solo's Fury's absolutely flying at Pop Coyer. Pop Coyer, Solo's Fury. Pop Coyer holds 3 parts of a length. Then it was Solo's Fury, Stars and Stones, Please Be Nice resound the Super in 105-4. Number 9, Pop Coyer was first. 10, Solo's Fury second. 2, Stars and Stones third. 3, Please Be Nice finished fourth. Returning to the winner circles, the number 9, Pop Coyer. 4-year-old gelding just under 40 tails out of the mine shaft mare, Lindsay's Treasure. A New York bred. Pop Coyer is owned by Clear Star Stable, Mitterbox Stable, and Rick Schosberg. Trained by Jonathan Buckley, winning rider A-Rod Anthony Rodriguez. $2 double, 2-9, 65 even. $2 exact and 9-10, 43 even. 50-cent try, 9-10, 2, 24.62. 10-cent super, 9-10, 2-3, $23.12. 50-cent pick 3, 4-2-9, 147.75. 50-cent pick 4, 5-4-2-9, 295 even. 50-cent pick 5, $782 and a quarter. Pick 6 was hit. 6 of 6, one winner. Congratulations, $15,836. 5 of 6, $114.50. That wraps up the live racing portion of the day here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Please note the casino stays open until 4 a.m. Live racing resumes tomorrow. 8-race card with the first post of 1 p.m. Until then, on behalf of the broadcast team, staff and management here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, I'm your track announcer, the Big A, Anthony Stabile, thanking you for joining us on this Monday. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Until then, please arrive home wherever you're going safely. Have a great night.